You've got all of these wide variety of beliefs. Another interesting one that I have seen in the message sect, I've seen this in the main sect even, there are people who will let their kids celebrate, specifically because William Branham said, I like to see the kids light up, my children, whenever I give them presents. So torn with this conflict and trying to make it all fit together, which it can't. So there are some people in the message that will say, let's let our children celebrate, but we as adults can't do this because the prophet said no. Did you have anything like that in your sect of the message?
So my family was quite divided on this topic, myself. So we had times. So there were years when parts of the family, Christmas was totally prohibited. There was zero Christmas. And it was generally because, well, there's no small kids this year, right? So no tree, no nothing. But if it was, a year and there was going to be some kids around, well, then they would do some level of Christmas something for the sake of the kids. Yeah. So we had that same thoughts in some parts of my family. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I know the same, with other people in there, right? If there's children around, for the sake of the children, they would do some kind of Christmas thing, privately, outside of the church, behind closed doors, hidden off, and nobody tells anybody else. But generally though, people tended to be either all in or all in as far as it's pagan and we're not doing it at all, or they tended to have some kind of a regular scaled down something that they did secretly every year. As the years went by, though, I'll say our sect of the message shifted. When I was younger, it was entirely, Christmas was a taboo topic. You just did not even talk about Christmas other than to say, don't be extreme and Jesus wasn't born then and those kind of things. But as time went on, a larger and larger percentage of our people were celebrating Christmas. And towards the last few years, John, some people actually gave out Christmas cards in the church. Can you believe that? I know, yeah. So there was some people who were actually giving out Christmas cards in the church building the last number of years.
Wow.
And yeah. So it shifted over time quite a bit. But when you, back from the 60s, 70s, 80s, even into the early and mid, maybe even the late 90s, Christmas was taboo. But the change up maybe started happening late 90s and into the early 2000s in our sect of the message, that Christmas became gradually more accepted.